What's up, YouTube? It's Jeff Tuffner here on the Glorious Podcast with my Monday Night Raw review for the October 16th, 2017 edition. And did I hop in a damn time machine tonight or something? I mean, what the hell happened tonight? I felt like I was back in 2013, 2014, something like that, watching Monday Night Raw tonight with the amount of things that occurred tonight on Monday Night Raw. From the Shield returning, well, I mean, we knew the Shield were back, but from them kind of doing their old entrance and everything, wearing the vest and everything, it legit felt like I was watching like 2013 episode of Raw there in the beginning. And then to the end of the show, the way the show ended, I mean, talk about out of left field, completely out of nowhere. I don't think anyone saw this coming. No one person could have saw this coming at the end of the show tonight. I mean, I knew something was gonna happen. I mean, there was an article out that came out just before Raw saying that they would add a fifth man to the match in all likeliness. So I knew someone would get at it. They were speculating Samoa Joe, but who the hell thought it would have been Kane? Kane is back for like the 900th time. I mean, this is the most like just weird. I mean, I'm weirded out right now. I'm confused if that's how you want to put it. I mean, the show just ended. As of the recording of this, the show just ended like 5 minutes ago. So I'm like weirded out right now exactly what I just watched tonight. I mean, Michael Cole opened the show saying this will go down as one of the greatest episodes of Monday Night Raw all time. Well, it sure as hell wasn't the greatest episode of Monday Night Raw all time, but it was one of the weirdest episodes of Raw all time. I can tell you that for sure. Um, I mean, I don't know what the hell happened. I mean, if you take away Kane showing up at the end there, I think it would just be I think we'd be just reviewing Raw. But I'm just so confused over this. Like, what is? Why Kane? Why is Kane back all of a sudden? I mean, this is just so random. Like, I'm confused. Like, I mean, I'm really gonna be like focusing on this for like the entire review. Even though, like, if you're trying to, like I'm saying, you take away the idea of Kane showing up tonight. I mean, this would just be any old episode of Raw tonight. I mean, hell, this was a go home show for the TLC pay per view. I mean, I don't even know half the matches on the TLC card. I'm trying to think of the matches on the card. I'm thinking of the big TLC match. I'm thinking of Alexa Bliss versus Mickey James, and that's all that I can think of. I can't even. I keep forgetting everything else that's even on this card, and it's like there's only like 5 or 6 matches on the TLC card this Sunday too. Like, why is it such a small pay per view? I mean, I don't know. It's not. I mean, they're basing it around the one big match, and that's it. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't care for anything else on the card this Sunday. Really. I mean, hell, you even have Asuka showing up. I mean, yeah, it's cool. It'll be cool to see Asuka, but like, what else is there to look forward to Sunday? Really, you know what I mean? Like, maybe everything will prove me wrong. I don't know, but I mean, I don't know. I just expect the big main event match to just be an insane match, and people are gonna destroy each other, and tables are gonna break, chairs are gonna be broken, people are gonna be flying off ladders, and it's just gonna be one hectic, crazy mess in the main event. That's what I'm expecting. So I mean, I'm looking forward to that. But Kane. I mean, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say if that's how you want to put it. I don't know what to say. Kane shows up, helps Braun Strowman defeat Roman Reigns. He's now the fifth member, so it's Braun Strowman, Kane, Cesaro, Sheamus, and The Miz taking on the Shield in a 5-on-3 handicap TLC match Sunday at TLC. Should be a fun match. Should be a fun match, but why is Kane back? Like, I don't get it. I thought he was like running for mayor or something in Nashville, and now all of a sudden he's back in WWE. And I'm not pissed. I'm not pissed. I actually popped for Kane. Like, a lot of people, like, I'm sitting here confused, but I mean, a lot of people on Twitter were saying the same thing. Like, I actually popped for Kane. Like, I don't normally, like, you know what I mean? Like, you'd expect maybe like a, not really a reaction, like, why is Kane here? But I actually was like, what the hell is Kane doing? I actually was like, just weirded out. Like, I was confused. I was like, it didn't make any sense. Like, he was the last person I expected to show up tonight. I mean, I honestly would have thought there would have been a better chance of the Undertaker showing up tonight than Kane. That's how like completely shocked I was by this. But all of a sudden they decided Kane's back. He's got his theme songs remixed for like the 700th time. He's every time he has and anybody noticed no pyro? That was awkward. Can't wait to see the entrance on Sunday when there's no pyro for Kane. I mean, that's been like a signature for him over the years in his entire WWE career, having the pyro, and it doesn't, I mean, they got to at least bring it back for like, I assume this has got to be like a one-time thing, right? I mean, he's going to come back for this match here on Sunday just to bring him back or whatever, just to hype up the pay-per-view or something, and then he's going to disappear again. So, I mean, I assume that's what it's for. I don't think we're going to see, Kane on a weekly basis on Monday Night Raw or something all of a sudden. I think it's just like a one-time deal or whatever. Bring them back. Like I said, remember what I've been saying for weeks now. They've been having trouble selling tickets, so maybe they're going to try. They're trying to do everything they can, Asuka reuniting the Shield, bringing Kane back. They're doing everything they can to get people to come out to the show and tune into this show Sunday on the pay-per-view. So, I mean, that's probably the reasoning behind this. They probably just were in panic mode. They were like, all right, what can we do? I don't know. And someone brought up the idea of bringing Kane back, and that's what ended up happening. So, I mean, I don't want to spend the entire review here talking about specifically Kane showing up, even though that was one of the biggest maybe the biggest highlight of the show tonight. Like I said, like it was just like if you get rid of the idea of Kane showing up and that never happened tonight, let's just say it never happened. This was just pretty much an average episode of Raw that I pretty much would have just went right through, nothing special. And I'm let's just go through it now and get it out of the way because, I mean, like I said, I like the opening of the show. It was really cool seeing the Shield back. Like I said, it felt like I was back in 2013 with the Shield back together and everything, with the vest and the entrance and everything coming through the crowd. It felt like old times again. I'm surprised they didn't save it till Sunday. I really thought that that's what they would do. They would just save it until Sunday at the pay-per-view, have the old entrance and everything. They wear the vest, but now they just brought it all out tonight. So, I mean, that was kind of confusing, but whatever. Still cool nonetheless. And then we get this just dumb thing between the club and Elias, and they're in the ring singing and shit. I do not know what the hell that was. I was just staring at the TV confused at that point. And then they ended up leading to a match where Titus O'Neil, Apollo Crews, Jason Jordan defeated the club, Gallows Anderson, and Elias in a tag match, whatever. And then there was another tag match after that. The Cruiserweights, Cedric Alexander and Rich Swann defeated Jack Gallagher and the Brian Kendrick. Nothing special there. I think there's like a Cruiserweight tag match or something on the pay-per-view Sunday that I have no clue who's in it. I can't even name one person. I have no clue what they're doing the Cruiserweights. They had another Cruiserweight segment later in the night that went way too long. I don't know why they went so long with that one Cruiserweight segment that had basically the entire division in it. But it started with Enzo, and then Kalisto was there, and then all the other guys came out, and they got into a brawl, and it just felt like it went on for way too long. At least from my viewpoint. Maybe it didn't even go on for long. It just felt like it was dragging, that segment. What else happened? Miz TV. Like I said, they announced that was where they announced that there would be if they added the stipulation to the match. So it was originally, we just knew it was Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Steel Cage match. Then they added the idea of Strowman wins, they can get a fifth man. Like I said, it wasn't a surprise because it was a rumor that came out before Raw. So it was like, all right, we knew it was coming. We had a tag team title match. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose taking on Sheamus and Cesaro. Like I said, every time these guys step in the ring, good match. Pretty solid match tonight. Not the greatest match, but like I said, solid match. Worked out pretty good. Rollins and Ambrose retained the titles. Nothing crazy. Some weird-ass Finn Balor promo for his match with Bray Wyatt or something. Who the hell knows what's going on? This feud is so weird and just doesn't make any sense, this Finn Balor thing. Tonight they just, like we've seen in past weeks, we had Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, supposedly Sister Abigail. I don't know how the hell that's supposed to be the case, but that's the case. Bray Wyatt's going to be Sister Abigail. So all this hype over the past, 3 years of who is Sister Abigail going to be is, are we ever going to see Sister Abigail? Oh, we're going to see Sister Abigail. It's Bray Wyatt himself. So that's a letdown there. But tonight they were, I don't know, Kevin Dunn was having some fun backstage, messing with the screen and everything. And they were showing Finn Balor switching on the screen. 1 second he's regular Finn Balor, next second he's Demon Finn Balor. So we're getting the Demon Finn Balor versus Sister Abigail, otherwise known as Bray Wyatt Sunday. So for the 900th time, that match, I don't know. It's, you know what I mean? It's just another match. I mean, it could be a good match. But it's just, there's no people interested in this feud. It's just weird and it doesn't make any sense. And, if they would have brought a real Sister Abigail in, not Bray Wyatt, people would maybe be a little more interested in it. But they decided to just go with Bray Wyatt, which is just a stupid decision in itself. We got Mickie James and Bayley defeating Emma and Alexa Bliss. Nothing special there, just another tag match. You know what's really pissing me off? I forgot to even address this. I was going to address this, but then the whole Kane shit happened. And I ended up talking about that to start the episode here. But the TLC pay-per-view is supposed to be a pay-per-view where you're supposed to have ladder matches, table matches, chair matches, and then obviously TLC matches in itself. Go back to last year. Remember, I can't remember the card exactly from last year, but I do remember a few matches off the top of my head. We had AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose in the TLC match for the WWE title. We had Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss in a table match. I think it was Nikki Bella versus Carmella in a chair match. I'm looking at the card. Is there any other match? Is every match just a regular match except the TLC match? I don't think there's any chair matches, any table, ladder matches. There's just the one TLC match on the card this Sunday. There's nothing else. Everything else is just regular, tag team or one-on-one straight-up match, which just takes away from the whole point of the pay-per-view. Why the hell even call the pay-per-view TLC if you're just doing one TLC match and everything else is just your regular pay-per-view matches or whatever? Nothing special to them. That don't make any sense. That's the same shit they did earlier in this year with Extreme Rules. They it's called Extreme Rules, so you expect every match to be kind of crazy, people getting busted open and everything. You know what I mean? Some crazy stuff happening. Extreme Rules was like the biggest letdown of the year. There was like nothing to it, no blood or anything. They just went out there and had regular matches. There were like these stipulations added to the matches where it's like you couldn't even do anything extreme. And that's what this pay-per-view feels like Sunday. They're doing one TLC match, one freaking TLC match, but they can't do anything else. They couldn't even add like a stipulation to any of these matches. They couldn't have made like Mickie James versus Alexa Bliss maybe like a chair match or something, or a table match, or Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor, a table match, or, anything. You get it. Why could they add something to it? Why? I don't understand. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Why? Like, it just dawned on me today too. It's weird. Like, I didn't even notice this until like today, legit a few hours ago in the middle of Raw. It just hit me. Like, are they even doing any other matches other than this one? Surprised no one has actually pointed this out yet, but that's stupid. Like, it really takes away from the whole idea of the pay-per-view TLC. So that's a fail on WWE's part right there for not even doing that. What else happened? Like I said, I stormed right through everything. The main event, Strowman defeats Reigns. Like I said, with the help of Kane. Kane shows up. So Kane's back. The Shield are back together. Weird. Like, I don't know. And this was a go-home show. Am I excited for the pay-per-view Sunday? Not really. Am I excited for that big main event match? Yeah, I'm excited for the main event match. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a fun match, like I said in the beginning already. Should be a fun match. Am I excited for anything else in the card? Not really. Could it be good? Could it be a really good pay-per-view? Yes, it could be a really good pay-per-view. Will it be it probably won't be, though. Let's just say that. It probably won't be a good pay-per-view. But then again, I just go into every pay-per-view with that attitude these days. Hell, I went into Hell in a Cell with the idea it wouldn't be a good pay-per-view. How did Hell in a Cell end up turning out to be? Pretty good. But, then again, Hell in a Cell was good only because of the two Hell in a Cell matches. You know what I mean? So if you think about it, TLC will be good because of the TLC match. It will be good because of the one match on the card. It's going to be similar to Money in the Bank. Remember Money in the Bank earlier this year? Everything on Money in the Bank sucked except for the main event Money in the Bank match itself, the men's Money in the Bank match. Everything else on that card sucked. And we remember that pay-per-view just for that match, and it was a really good match. It was a match of the year, possibly. That's what's probably going to be the case this Sunday. This is going to be one of those matches you go back and watch over and over again, but nobody's going to remember anything else that happened on this pay-per-view. It's going to be a throwaway pay-per-view, nothing special on it. What else did they announce? They announced Sasha Banks, Alicia Fox will be on the pre-show. They're doing 3 women's matches this Sunday, so that's cool. Sasha and Alicia on the pre-show, and then we obviously get Asuka versus Emma. Like I said, it's cool to see Asuka, but they're probably just gonna bury Asuka on the main roster. We all know this. We know how it goes now. You come up from NXT, you get buried on the main roster. So hopefully they don't do that with Asuka. Asuka's been one of the biggest success stories in NXT and in WWE, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, having the idea of her going undefeated, not losing. You know what I mean? Like, that idea is great. So they need to carry that everything they were doing with her in NXT, they need to move it exactly over to the main roster. They can't adjust it and, destroy it and just ruin it. Because that's what they do. They ruin everybody who comes up from NXT and just destroy them. Specifically what they do on Monday Night Raw. They don't really do that on SmackDown in all cases. Sometimes they're able to, continue what they're doing in NXT. But Raw, it's scary because, you just look at the amount of people on Raw who were a success in NXT and have just failed miserably on the Monday Night Raw roster. It's just bad. It's sad to watch. It really is, to be honest with you. Man, what a just awkward episode of Raw. Like, I don't even know what to think. Kane's back. That's all I'm gonna say. Kane's back. Weird show. I think I've covered everything. I really don't know what to talk about tonight. Like I said, I'm still kind of in shock. The idea of Kane being back, and it just doesn't make much sense to me. And then this is a go-home show. I should be talking about more going into a pay-per-view Sunday. I feel like there should be more to talk about with a big pay-per-view coming up, but there's not much to talk about. There's one match really to talk about, and that's the main event. And I've already talked about that like 3 times because there's nothing else to talk about. There's nothing to talk about regarding Finn Balor and Bray Wyatt. You know what I mean? I can go on for about a minute about that. Like I said, I don't have interest in it. It makes no sense. Mickie James versus Alexa Bliss. I like their build for their match. I like the build for their match. I think it's better than, what we've been seeing. It's something different. I've been saying that for a while. I'm happy that it's something different. It's not Alexa Bliss versus Bayley for the 700th time, or Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss for the the 700th time. We've seen that matches 1,000 times before, right? So it's something different for a change. So I'm happy about that. I mean, hopefully the match is good. I'll keep my fingers crossed that their match is actually good, and it's one of the better parts of the show. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm trying to think of what else is even on the card. Like I said, it's a weak card. Like I said that on Twitter right before the show ended. I was just thinking of the card. I'm like, it is a really weak card. Other than you take away that big main event match, I mean, there is really not much on this card to look forward to Sunday. Which is just unfortunate. I mean, they wonder why they're not selling the tickets and everything. It's just, they're not putting that effort forth to put a good card together. And you know what I could tell? I could just see it right now. I could just see right through them. They don't even want to do this pay-per-view. They just want to move on to Survivor Series. They wish, if they could, they would just erase this pay-per-view right now and not even do it. And they would have just started Survivor Series build weeks ago. I could just see it. It's just so obvious. And it's so obvious. This happens multiple times throughout the year, because they get themselves in a situation with doing these single-branded pay-per-views, and it doesn't work out. It hurts, because it hurts when they go into the multi-branded pay-per-view, and then the one show's got their pay-per-view before, and then the other show's, starting their build for the payper-view. The next pay-per-view, Survivor Series. SmackDown's already getting ready for Survivor Series, but Raw's still having the build for TLC. So I could tell that's where they're just like, man, we just, they just want to get rid of the pay-per-view and just like, can we just build both shows toward Survivor Series rather. So, I mean, they dug themselves into that hole. Like I've said 1,000 times before, too. They need to just go back to doing one pay-per-view for both shows. I mean, sometimes these pay-per-views, these single-brand pay-per-views are good, but most of the time they're not that good. I really think they're better off just doing one pay-per-view. It really adds more prestige to the pay-per-view, too, if you think about it. If it was just one pay-per-view a month, I remember I'd get excited for all the pay-per-views because there was going to be a lot to look forward to. You know what I mean? Nowadays, there's pay-per-views I don't even get excited for, like this one coming this Sunday. I'm excited for one match on this card on the card this Sunday. One match, and that's the main event TLC match. That shouldn't be the case. That should not be the case. I should at least be excited for like 3 matches on a pay-per-view, but I'm not. I can only get that way about like the big 4 pay-per-views. Very rarely a single brand of pay-per-view am I excited for at least 3 matches on the card. But I think that's it, though. I think I've covered everything in regards to Monday Night Raw, the go-home show to the TLC pay-per-view. Rating out of 10, I mean, I don't know, 4.5, maybe. I'll be nice, 5 out of 10. I'll give them a 5 out of 10 for, getting the Shield back together, giving their old music, bringing that back, the old vest. I thought that was cool. And then Kane showing up, I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, it was cool, but, like, why? That's what I want to know. I want to simply know why Kane's back. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And there were a couple other things throughout the show that are, like, smaller things, nothing crazy. Tag team match, like I said, that was okay. And the main event was okay, too. So, I mean, it was an okay show. 5 out of 10, though. I'm giving it a 5. If it wasn't a go-home show, I wouldn't be giving it. If it was not a go-home show, I think I might give it, like, a 6 out of 10, 6.5. But it's a go-home show, and it didn't feel like a go-home show. So when it doesn't feel like a go-home show, and it should feel like a go-home show, then I got to give it a lower rating than it is. So, unfortunately, it didn't. So 5 out of 10 is what I'll settle at tonight. Let me know what you guys thought of the show down in the comments section below. What you would give the show out of 10. Let me know down below. Leave a like, subscribe. Go follow me all over Twitter, anywhere on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Get all the updates when I upload videos on the channel here. And, yeah, that's it. So I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow right here on the Glorious Podcast with my SmackDown Live review.